Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my corner of the internet. My name, once again, is Jason, and today we're going to be taking a glance at Pac-Man Championship Edition DX+. I'm going to go ahead and press enter and get things started, and I'll explain the game once we dive in. We'll go ahead and play game, and I'll go to Championship 2, which is, I believe, the first course that is highlighted. There are several different courses in the game, and as you play through it, you unlock more. I currently have them all unlocked because I really like this game. So basically, before you start the game, though, you do have different choices. You can play on beginner, normal, expert, and basically what this does, as you can see up at the top of the screen, affects the number of extra lives you have. The little Pac-Man logo, which is the little yellow circle. It looks like it's got a slice taken out of it, in case you don't know what Pac-Man is. And you've been living under a rock for a very long time, or you're just young and haven't had a chance to be exposed to classic arcade games. And if you'll notice over to the right, there are bombs. I'll explain a little bit about those in a bit too. You can also change the visuals. I have it set to classic, which I had to unlock, and it was actually rather challenging to do so. I wish this would have been unlocked from the beginning, but there it is. Some of the content I'm going to be showing off will be included with the DLC. I do have all the DLC packs. I picked it all up as a bundle on sale, so that's why I have it all. There's Pac is back. There's your Type A, which is very close to the classic, but not quite. Type B, Type C, D, E, and you get, as you can see, there's different styles. You can choose the one that fits most with the way you want to play the game. You can also change the characters themselves. So let's say you wanted Visual B, but you wanted to have the characters from Type 1. So Type B with characters from Type 1. You can go ahead and do that. You can also change the background music, which is good. It does its trick. Does the trick. I'm just going to leave it on auto. So I'm going to go ahead and with under Classic for this first little demo, and I'm also going to go under Beginner. Why? Just so I can have some time to talk about things and explain the game without being too pressed, because this is a game that requires concentration. It's not because I'm a wimp. I've obviously unlocked the classic mode, which requires, as you can see, my highest score up at the top, over 1,800,000, which is actually more challenging than it sounds. So if you're on beginner, you can't get that high of a score. Each of the difficulty settings, as you can see at the bottom, starts you off at a different game speed. Right now, since I'm on beginner, I'm starting at game speed 1. Normal begins at game speed 10. And expert, I believe, starts at game speed 30. Now, what you do in this one, unlike the original game, it's not just about collecting all the pellets, avoiding the ghosts, and getting a high score. In this game here, it's a little bit more of a pattern game. You gotta memorize and learn the level, and go through a certain pattern. Yes, you're still gobbling up dots and fruit, but what the major score, we'll say income, comes from trailing these ghosts behind you. See, the ghosts sit around the stage, and they're all generally sleeping. Then as you pass them, they wake up, and if you happen to have a train of ghosts behind you, they will follow after you. Once you've got a sufficient, we'll say, long train of ghosts behind you, you can then go ahead and, well, get yourself an Energizer pellet. Actually, you can see it in the middle of the level, the big yellow dot in the middle, which will allow you to go ahead and eat them. Now, there's usually an Energizer pellet in the stage as part of the pattern, and then you can use that to go ahead and eat. Now, the higher your score gets, you'll notice the speed goes up in the game. So we're already up to speed 12, and you notice I'm moving a lot quicker than I was before. You'll also notice that the amount of points you get per pellet has increased from the 10 I was getting per pellet up to 100. So the higher your score is, the better basically you're doing, the more each pellet is worth. Now, let's say you are in a, well, actually, I'll explain that in a bit here. You notice a second ago, when I got close to one of the ghosts looked like he was going to get me. My screen kind of had these white lines coming around, and it kind of went into slow motion. Basically, it goes into, we'll say, a quasi-bullet time when you get close to a ghost, which gives you a chance to react. This is good because the game gets really fast later on, and you know, you want to be able to respond. See, there we go. And I just kind of went back and forth to avoid the ghost because, ooh, I messed up my pattern there. Because the ghosts that are not trailing behind you, I believe, are actually the original 4 ghosts from the classic arcade game. Inky, Plinky apparently is a new one. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde do make, we'll say, an appearance, and they move around a little bit more randomly. But they're not actively hunting you down, so the AI is not like it was in the original arcade game. But regardless, so you have different sets of ghosts. You have the kind that will wake up and chase after you, and then you have some of the random roaming ones. The roaming ones, actually, I don't find tend to go right for you. So if you were on your pattern, as you can see before, I actually moved away away from it, and it actually moved in the opposite direction from me. It ran away. Whereas the rainbow ones who are chasing after you, they tend to just keep coming after you. So you got to learn how each, we'll say, set of ghosts behave and take advantage of that. So as you can see, the speed right now, I've got it up to 30. Now I believe the absolute maximum you can get... Oh my goodness, what am I doing? The highest you can get in this game is a speed of 50, but I believe since... Oh, darn it, I accidentally grabbed that one. The highest speed, I think because I'm on beginner, it's only letting me go up to 30, but the highest speed normally is 50, which I believe is accessible on both normal and expert mode. There we go, see? So, I guess the game's not going as fast. Now, the faster you go through the level, because, like I said, the game isn't quite like the old school game. It's not about taking your time. It's about going through as fast as possible and getting points. Since you're not going through as quickly, your ability to get as high of a score is very much so diminished. So I'm not going to get as high a score as I could if I would have started on expert. So it allows people who are not so good at the game to actually, you know, learn the maps and get used to things without it going too quick before diving into things harder. And it gives the experts the reward of being able to actually say, hey, I got a high score on a higher difficulty level. Being on a higher difficulty level actually gives me a better score. So there you go. That's an example of the gameplay. It was a very poor one because, like I said, I started on beginner and I'm talking at the same time. Now, let's actually go ahead and we'll change things up a little bit. I'll continue talking about the mechanics of the game because they're actually a little bit more, they're a little deeper than you might initially think. Now, let's go ahead and they're all various, we'll say, setups. You can actually get a little bit of a preview of what the map layout is. I wanted to go ahead and we'll just dive into darkness because I think this one's kind of neat. Darkness, you get, it's a dark version of all the different maps. I currently only have Championship 2 because I haven't gotten far into darkness. But this one will do. So time remaining, default settings. Okay, so the objective in this one here is we want to be the fastest to eat 34 apples. And I guess there's no difficulty level. This one's just straight up. Now you can hit K to change the colors. Let's make it kind of red. There we go. Just for kicks. Now, I mentioned earlier that the pellets... See, right now they're giving me 10 points. And now they're up to 30. Now, what happens is while I'm going ahead, we'll say, gobbling up these pellets, and I'm getting the more points. Let's say I get into one of those tough spots like I did in the previous level. If you noticed, I had to use a bomb because I got cornered. Well, when you use a bomb, what happens is... Actually, I probably shouldn't be eating ghosts because my goal is to get the apple as quickly as possible. The apples. But anyways, when you hit the bomb, what happens is it reduces the value of the pellets that you're eating by half. So right now, if I were to use a bomb... See, right now I'm eating pellets for, we'll say, 100. If I use a bomb, it's going to reduce the value of the pellets down to 50. See, I'll hit the bomb, and we're now eating 50. It also lowers your speed by 1 point. Now, bombing is not ideal. You know, ideally you don't want to be using your bombs, but sometimes you just have to, and it's better than losing a life. If you are on, say, expert mode. Oh, hello. Let's say you're on expert and you... Come on. You get yourself into a corner. And you're at 50, you're at a speed of 50. You know, you're just rocking it. And you get stuck. It's better to go ahead and hit the bomb and lose half the value and 1 point of speed. Oh, man, What am I doing? Than it is to die. Because when you die... when your speed is 50, you lose actually 10 whole points of speed, and the value of the pellets goes straight down to 10. I'll just get rid of some of these ghosts. Why? Just because I feel like it. I guess I'm obviously not playing the objective as I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to be eating apples as quickly as possible, and I should be ignoring the ghosts. But anyways... on with my explanation. So yeah, it's the bomb is kind of, we'll say, a lesser life lost kind of thing. You don't want to do it, but it's better than dying, because dying will result in you losing a significant amount of potential points. Because, you know, these dots, they might not be worth much each time, but, you know, when you're shooting for high scores, each little bit counts. And as you can see, it gets very fast, very hectic. Oh, snap! Where am I? Okay. You start to lose track of where you're at, and it's good fun. Now, actually, as soon as we're done this, I'll go ahead and I'll talk about, we'll say, some gripes I might have with the game itself. See, the gameplay itself is fantastic. It controls well, it's responsive, and it's a very good modern adaptation of Pac-Man. The original Pac-Man was a little bit hardcore. You know, the ghosts would actually work together. The AI was brutal. Well, it wasn't brutal. It was exploitable, but it was brutal for the time. The original game came out in 1980, I believe, and the ghosts would try to corner you, and so this is definitely made for a more modern, a little bit more casual crowd. Now, don't be offended. I'm gonna do a whole video on casual versus core games. It's not a demeaning thing. It's a game that's easy to get into. You know, there's difficulty settings to accommodate for different play styles. There's even a free mode where, you know, you get unlimited lives, and I'll go to highway just to show you. Unlimited lives and like 99 lives, 99 bombs, and you can just go ahead and pick how you want to do it. You want to have, you know, all the ghosts out there with you, or do you want to have no ghosts? Just so you can practice and learn the map. So it's got a wide variety of different ways to play. Now, the only thing I don't like is over here, if we look under achievements and medals. Right now, you don't notice anything because I cleared it all off, but if you actually look, we'll click on this one here, for instance. It's called Sharing Master. Share 5 medals and all achievements on Facebook. Now, why on earth would I want to do that? You know, even if I just wanted to get my medals and stuff, why would I even care about that? Well, to get the classic visual style, you need to actually get all achievements and all medals. So I had to go ahead and, like, I could see someone having to put, this is sharing 5 medals and all their achievements. Like, that's going to clog up your Facebook thing. And what about the people who don't use Facebook? I feel this is unfair. Well, good news. If you do have this game and you want the classic Pac-Man visual style, you can go ahead and get all your other medals. This one here was actually particularly challenging. You got 1,800,000 points. Once you get all your medals, what you do is you click on them and you go to share on Facebook. When you click on share on Facebook, you get this screen, you hit confirm enter, and a dialog box pops up asking you to, for your Facebook information. You hit cancel, and you get this. It says failed to share on Facebook. That's okay. As far as the game's concerned, you still clicked on share for Facebook, and it counts as a share. So you don't actually have to share to get the sharing medals. And that is how you can go ahead and unlock your classic thing. your classic view mode. Like I said, there are online leaderboards. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're not moderated as a little bit more well. If we look at, say, Championship 2, for example, overall score, the numbers are actually scrolling. And the reason for that, actually, can I scroll down with my arrow? Yeah. Is because there's so many digits. They are cheating. So people have cheated to get the top scores on the leaderboards. I don't think the actual legitimate scores start until, I think it's like after the 100 mark. Can't remember. Regardless, I'm at like 548, and I don't feel so bad because I know that there's a good number, one or 200 above me that basically just cheated to get to where they are. I'm not saying they necessarily all did, or everyone above me did. I'm not trying to be like, I'm number one, but you get the idea. The leaderboards are not well moderated for cheaters. If you watch the replay, they basically just walk off to the side, and they somehow managed up at the top of the leaderboard. So that's a little bit disappointing. Other than that, I think the game is pretty self-explanatory. It's it's pretty good. There's a lot to do. If you just want to go ahead and beat the levels, you can go ahead and do that. And if you want to really strive for those S ranks, really, you know, get that high scored and be competitive, it's a great game for that as well. I think it does a very good, it does justice to the Pac-Man name, because Pac-Man is a huge name with gaming. And it deserves to be treated well. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. I think it's, like I said, I think it's fantastic. It's available on Steam. I don't know the exact price. I know I picked it up. It was on sale for about $5 with all the DLC. So if you hit it up during Christmas sales or summer sales, you'll likely be able to get it for a comparable price. Definitely worth the time. I've put in well over 10 hours, I believe, now, at least. So I've definitely got my money's worth. That's like 50 cents an hour. Good value, good game. And, yeah, if you have any other questions about the game, yeah, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. And, until next time, game on.